whole time, like a dork. It was a very wonderful, respectful conversation, and I'll remember it for the rest of my life because he is just really was a terrific brilliant author.
And here I am trying to make it all sorted. I'm sorry.
What are you doing? God, someone makes a video about wanting to have sex with Ray Bradbury, and you gotta make it all gross?
Well, Rachel Bloom, we are delighted to talk to you. We've asked you here to play a game we're calling...
No, really. This time I'll change.
You're the expert, obviously, on crazy ex-girlfriends. So, naturally, we decided to ask you about crazy ex-boyfriends. Just as funny, sometimes dangerous. Answer 2 of these 3 questions correctly, and you'll win a prize for one of our listeners, Carl Castle's voice on their voicemail. Bill, who is Rachel Bloom playing for?
John Ruxin of Missoula, Montana.
All right. Here's your first question. Men find ways and places to complain about their exes all the time. When did a guy named Carrie Mullis manage to vent his feelings about his ex? Was it A, in his wedding vows to his new wife, B, in his Nobel Prize acceptance speech, or C, during his play-by-play of Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals?
I'm going to guess it's wedding vows.
You're going to guess wedding vows?
Yeah.
No, you were on the right track. It was actually during his Nobel Prize acceptance speech. Carrie Mullis. Carrie Mullis won the Nobel Prize in chemistry. He's the guy who made all this DNA testing possible with his discovery. And in the speech describing this discovery, he kept mentioning his ex-girlfriend, Jennifer, as in, and I quote him, "On the increasingly numerous days when she hated me, my ideas and I suffered her scorn together." It is truly the most technically impenetrable and saddest Nobel Prize acceptance speech you'll ever read.
Unbelievable. What year was that?
This was around 1990.
He invented DNA testing?
He invented the chemical technique that makes DNA testing
Was
possible.
he not the daddy? Is that why he was so mad?
That's a good guess.
Yeah, he was not the daddy.
Yeah.
Next question. Brandon Prevost of Chicago is one of the world's worst and most inventive ex-boyfriends. In 1999, he did what? A, he gave $50,000 to an animal shelter here in Chicago on the condition they name each and every dog after his ex. B, he created a Yelp account in her name and gave horrible reviews to her favorite bars and restaurants so she would be banned. Or C, he parked his ex-girlfriend's $600 1999 Chevy Monte Carlo at O'Hare Airport and left it there long enough to rack up $100,000 in parking tickets.
Oh, man. I'm going to go with C.
You're going to go with C. And you're right. It was C. You asked, I said, how come she never noticed her car was missing? That's because what he did was he bought a car, registered it in her name without her knowledge, and parked it at O'Hare to leave it there to rack up tickets.
That's way more diabolical.
Isn't it?
That's an angry boyfriend.
It is. All right, here's your last question. You can win it here. When a woman named Maggie Grace was having trouble with an ex who would not just go away, what did she do? A, she started a podcast which was just her reading from her diary about him called I'll Stop When You Stop. B, she enlisted the guy's mother, his 3 sisters, his 7th grade teacher, and 4 of his other exes to stage a public intervention. Or C, she got Liam Neeson to call him and leave a threatening message in his character from the movie Taken. Ooh.
Oh, that'd be so good.
I'll give you a hint that the name of the person, Maggie Grace, is a bit of a clue.
Oh, is it a podcast?
It is.
Maggie Grace is the name of the actress who plays Liam Neeson's daughter in Taken.
All right.
But you didn't.
Said Helen in secret code.
But you didn't hear it from me.
Yeah. I didn't know that. So now, after thinking about it, I'm gonna have to guess C.
You're right, Rachel.
Yay!
Bill, how did Rachel Bloom do in our quiz?
Rachel got 1 wrong and 2 right. And of course, Helen got one of those.
Rachel Bloom is the star writer and co-creator of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, which you can see Monday nights on the CW. Rachel Bloom, thank you so much for joining us. In just a minute, Bill sits atop a golden throne. It's our listener limerick challenge. Call 1-888-WAIT-WAIT to join us on the air. We'll be back in a minute with more of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me from NPR.
We'll keep covering the presidential race on the Brian Lair Show as we introduce our Republican breakup scorecard. Let's see, 2 President Bushes, no endorsement. Sheldon Adelson, yes. Paul Ryan, well.
I'm not there right now, and I hope to, though, and I want to.
Hashtag awkward. And our 30 Issues election series continues. Next up, political correctness, a problem real or fake? The Brian Lair Show, weekdays at 10 a.m. on WNYC.
WNYC is supported by Shuffle Along on Broadway, starring Audra McDonald, Brian Stokes Mitchell, Billy Porter, Brendan Victor Dixon, and Joshua Henry. Directed by George C. Wolfe and choreographed by Savion Glover. Tickets available at shufflealongbroadway.com. SunPower, making their own solar panels for more than 30 years. SunPower strives to improve the future of energy for all homeowners. More at sunpower.com or 1-800-SUNPOWER. Come to New York Public Radio's Community Advisory Board meeting to learn how our Archives Department documents the history of WNYC and WQXR. May 9th at 6:30 p.m. at the Green Space. Details at wnyc.org/cab.
You're listening to Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me here on WNYC. Radio Lab is coming up next on 93.9 FM. Today, stories about blame and the tricky line between pointing the finger or offering forgiveness. You can also listen at WNYC.org. Currently 52 degrees, cloudy in Central Park. It's 11:40.
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations and Linda Mood Bell. Linda Mood Bell Learning Centers work to help all students reach their potential for learning. Summer programs are available to improve reading, comprehension, and math. Learn more at lindamoodbell.com. AT&T with a network and solutions for helping companies sense and adapt to meet the demands of business. Discover the power of AT&T. And Home Instead Senior Care, providing specialized Alzheimer's disease and other dementia care programs and resources to help keep seniors at home. More at homeinstead.com/NPR. From NPR and WBEZ Chicago, this is Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, the NPR News Quiz. I'm Bill Curtis. We are playing this week with PJ O'Rourke, Tom Bodett, and Helen Hong. And here again is your host at the Chase Bank Auditorium in downtown Chicago, Peter Sagal.
Thank you, Bill. In just a minute, Bill recovers from his Cinco de Rimo party just in time for the Listener Limerick Challenge. If you'd like to play, give us a call at 1-888-WAIT-WAIT. That's 1-888-924-8924. Right now, panel, some more questions for you from the week's news. Tom, driverless cars are coming. They might pose, though, an unexpected threat. One Canadian expert says that once computers are taking the wheel of our cars, we will see a lot more what?
Drive through Apple stores?
No.
We'll see a lot more.
Well, you won't be really able to see it because the windows in the car will be steamed up.
Oh, yeah, sex in cars.
Exactly, a lot more sex in cars.
Right.
And you thought being at a stoplight next to a guy with his finger up his nose was gross. So this Canadian expert says that once everybody's driving around in autonomous vehicles...
What is a Canadian expert on sex in cars?
Oh, because when I think about sex in cars, I think about Canada. Oh, yeah. No, this Canadian expert on such things says that autonomous vehicles, once they're ubiquitous, people won't be ready to take the wheel in the case of an emergency because they'll be having sex. And weirdly, she said this like it was a bad thing.
I feel like some people might actually drive better while having sex than they do while texting.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I mean...
You know what they're going to be... If you've been married long enough, you're paying less attention.
I don't know. People, I don't don't know if this is really going to happen because people are shy, and I don't know if they're going to want to do it in front of an artificial intelligence. Your GPS will be saying, in 100 feet, turn left. Oh, I'm sorry. You've already reached your destination. PJ, Google is building an artificial intelligence agent that's going to be able to speak to people online, and it's learning from human behavior and language. To help it become more conversational, the engineers at Google are feeding it thousands of what?
Jokes.
No. Oh, God forbid. Hello, Google. Pull my finger. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it'd be like raising kids, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
it'd be the worst.
Yeah.
No, I'll give you a hint, PJ. It kind of puts the bot in Bodice Ripper.
Oh, they are making it read romance novels?
They are feeding it thousands of romance novels.
What?
So Google is uploading all these romance novels they can into their AI engine to help it learn conversational language. You know, the kinds of things normal people say every day. Like, her creamy bosom heaved with desire. And she was amazed to discover the programmer's throbbing manhood was... No, wait, that was one they wrote especially for themselves. The idea is to teach the AI conversational language, and apparently romance novels are useful because the plot is all the same, so it's different language about the same things. So now when you type something into your Google search window, like, where is... Google will autocomplete with, my lover, for I must taste the sweet nectar of her lips. I just wanted some pizza, but thanks, Google. Helen, in recent years, KFC has created so many innovations in fast food. The famous bowl, the double down sandwich, the mashed potato scarf. Well, this week they stepped it up once again, food innovation-wise, with chicken-flavored what?
I actually know this. It's nail polish.
Yes, Helen, it is nail
How
polish.
frightening is that? I read the whole story about it. It comes in 3 different flavors.
Yes.
All you have to do is eat their chicken, and you pretty much have
There it
that.
is. I mean, you can't. I mean, if you leave a bag of that stuff in your car, you have to sell a car. I mean, you will never get it out.
And you have to sell
I'd
the
rather
car.
have.
You
I'd
have to
rather have
sell
a
it.
live chicken living in my.
Coming up, it's Lightning Fill in the Blank, but first it's the game where you have to listen for the rhyme. If you'd like to play on air, call or leave a message at 1-888-WAIT-WAIT. That translates to 1-888-924-8924, or click the Contact Us link on our website, waitwait.npr.org. There you can find out about attending our weekly live shows right here at the Chase Bank Auditorium in Chicago. And be sure to check out the latest How to Do Everything podcast. This week, Mike and Ian tell you how to hide from spies.
Okay, Mike and Ian.
Hi, you're on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Oh my gosh, hi.
Oh my gosh. No, I'm as surprised to be talking to you as you are to be talking to me. So let's just try to be cool about this. So who is this?
This is Clara, and I'm calling from Montpelier, Vermont.
Montpelier. Yeah.
And it's tricky to explain as well. Right, you're totally off the clutch by the time it's happening. You depress the accelerator, and you floor it. It'll accelerate to a point, and then it's like it gets, saturated or clogged or something, and it doesn't. It'll kind of back off, and then when it'll finally kick in, it'll surge. So it's sort of there's a weird hesitation in the accelerator, and my mechanic checked it out, and he replaced the plugs and the wires, which seemed to help for a while.
Limericks with a last word or phrase missing from each. If you can fill in that last word or phrase correctly, then 2 of the limericks will be a winner. Are you ready to play?
I am. This is a dream come true, and there are so many people at the bar waiting to hear how this goes.
Really? Okay. Here's your first limerick.
Okay.
Our theme park has rules that may vex, but we got an R rating, not X. Still, Erotica Land has a theme that is grand. Our rides are all focused on...
Yes! Very good. Okay. So, entrepreneurs in Brazil have announced they're planning a new theme park called Erotica Land. A Disneyland of sex, if you will, or a Sex Flags Over America, or maybe a Busch Gardens.
Peter, as host, you claim that joke.
I did. But here's the thing. The park is redolent of sex, but the guests themselves are not allowed to actually indulge One of the park's founders said, quote, "It's not like we're creating Sodom and Gomorrah. If attendees want to take things to another level, they can go to a nearby motel, which we will operate." Right? So basically, this theme park, you pay an admission fee, you enter a world drenched in sex, but you're not allowed to have any. If you'd like to save money and a trip to Brazil, just be an undergraduate English major. Not autobiographical. All right, here is your next limerick.
My cat I'm unable to teach, but his collar puts words in his reach. It takes purrs and meows and transforms them somehow. Now my cat has the power of...
Speech!
Yes, speech!
Yes. And the bar went wild.
A new smart collar created by Temptations Cat Treats, pioneers in science.
There's a theme running through this show.
They claim that this collar will translate your cat's meows into human speech. The first thing the collar translates from cat to human right after you put it on is, "I have never hated you more than I did
I
right
know.
now."
Every time my cat walks by me, it makes this little sound. I know what it is. It's just gonna be. And I really don't need to hear that.
Here is your last limerick.
It's an art Game of Thrones. Please don't spoil it. Use the porcelain ones. Do not soil it. With usable plumbing, the price is mind-numbing. A solid gold flushable.
Oh my god. It rhymes with it.
No, it rhymes
No.
with spoil it.
Spoil it.
Spoil it. Soil it.
Toilet?
Italian contemporary artist Maurice Catalan has designed a fully operational 18-karat gold toilet to be installed in the Guggenheim Museum.
Or the White House, depending on who's elected.
I'm sure. You're probably right, PJ. The work created quite a buzz among New York art aficionados. They were thrilled to hear there would finally be a public toilet in the city. Bill, how did Clara do in our quiz?
Drinks all around. You got all three right.
There you go. Well done. Thank you so much for playing, Clara.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Golden brown, texture like sun, lays me down. With my mind she runs throughout the night. No need to fight, never a frown with golden brown.
Now on to our final game, Lightning Fill in the Blank. Each of our players will have 60 seconds in which to answer as many fill in the blank questions as he or she can. Each correct answer now worth 2 points. Bill, can you give us the scores?
Tom and Helen each have 2. PJ has 3.
Oh my goodness, PJ, you're doing well. So, we have flipped a coin. Tom has elected to go first. Here we go. The clock will start when I begin your first question. Fill in the blank. On Wednesday, both George W. Bush and his father announced they would not endorse blank.
Donald Trump.
Right. This week, a federal judge said Hillary Clinton might have to give a deposition about using a private blank while Secretary of State.
Email server.
Right. On Tuesday, the governor of Georgia vetoed a law that would allow blanks on college campuses.
Guns.
Right. After taking part in a 2-day sick-out that closed almost every school in the city, teachers in blank returned to work on Wednesday.
Detroit.
Right. This week, a high school French teacher in Houston is being criticized because he can't blank.
Speak French.
Right. President Obama closed his final blank speech by saying Obama out and dropping his mic.
Oh, the correspondence dinner.
Right. White House Correspondence Dinner. This week, the musical Hamilton broke yet another record when it was nominated for 16 blanks.
Tonys.
Yes. After months of debate, construction crews in Belgium finally began building the city's first ever pipeline to transport blank.
Beer.
Yes, of course.
All right, Tom.
Wow. Good.
It was going to be that or French fries, and French fries don't go down pipelines. The Hall of Man Brewery is running their beer pipeline underneath the streets of Bruges from its brewery to its bottling plant. They say it will make transport more efficient. It will also vastly increase the amount of construction workers accidentally hitting the pipe with jackhammers.
There's going to be a lot of drunk rats down there.
Yeah. I've discovered the best sewer in the world. Bill, how did Tom do in our quiz?
Hard to believe, but Tom got 8 right. 16 more points.
Thank you.
18 in the lead. Hard to catch.
Wow, that was very good, Tom.
Why is that so hard to believe, Bill?
No one does it. You're the king.
There you go.
No one does it.
All right, Helen, you're up next. Fill in the blank. On Tuesday, blank was named the winner of Indiana's Democratic primary.
Bernie Sanders.
Yes, this week President Obama visited Michigan and drank blank's tap water to show that it's safe.
Flint.
Right, this week the U.S. government said it would start regulating blanks the same way it regulates tobacco.
Vape?
Yeah, e-cigarettes.
Yeah.
This week experts at the National Earthquake Conference said that southern blank should start preparing for a high-magnitude quake.
California.
Yes, this week a man in Ohio was arrested on drug charges after he blanked.
Smoked weed?
No, after he asked a cop to help him find the bag of weed he had lost in his yard. A new study released Monday showed that blank was the third leading cause of death in America.
Oh, medical mistakes.
Right, on Thursday, Walmart announced it would be bringing back blank to all of their stores.
The greeters?
Yes, very good. Ohio police, attempting to search a drug dealer's phone for evidence, were stymied when blank.
They found nude photos only?
No, when people kept texting the phone asking for drugs. So officers arrested this suspected drug dealer, and he was caught on video selling what proved to be methamphetamine. It was hard to prove their case, though. They were trying to search his phone, and they kept getting interrupted by messages like, "I need that same thing again." And, "Hello, drug dealer. I would like to purchase some drugs, please." Officers ended up telling anyone interested in picking up drugs from the drug dealer that he would meet them at the police station. Bill, how did Helen do in our quiz?
Helen did great. 6 right, 12 more points, 14. She still trails Tom with the lead.
Oh, Tom.
But PJ had a little bit of a head start, so how many does he need to win?
He needs 8 to win.
All right, you got to be perfect here, PJ.
No, it's not really just not going to happen. You know, it's that competitive spirit that's gotten you to the top of your field. If I can vote for Hillary, I can endure defeat.
All right. Here we go, PJ. This is for the game. On Wednesday, the Justice Department ruled that North Carolina's blank law violated the Civil Rights Act.
Bathroom law.
On Monday, Treasury Secretary Jack Lew said serious action needed to be taken after blank defaulted on $367 million in
Puerto
debt
Rico.
payments. Yes, on Tuesday, the entire city of Fort McMurray was evacuated as a blank continued to blaze through Alberta. Wildfire, yes. This week, California raised the legal age to buy tobacco from 18 to blank.
21.
Yes, a motorcyclist in Thailand is recovering well after an improperly secured mattress fell off a truck, knocked him off his bike, and then blanked.
Crawled across the street, got in that driverless car.
No. It broke his fall. He was hit by the mattress, flew up in the air, landed on the mattress. He's fine. On Monday, it was announced that Malia Obama would be attending blank after taking a gap year. Harvard. Yes, after a chef in Italy prepared a vegan meal for a homeless shelter in Bologna, the diners responded by blanking.
Throwing it at him.
I'm going to give it to you. They told him they'd rather go hungry than eat vegan food.
Yeah.
Chef Simone Salvini, who's renowned for his plant-based cuisine, decided to make a healthy vegan version of one of Bologna's most famous dishes, tagliatelle with meat sauce bolognese. Unfortunately for the chef, the patrons of the shelter said they'd rather return to the streets than eat anything vegan. Bill, did PJ do well enough to win?
He got 6 right for 12 more points. He has a total of 15, but he could not catch the Flash from the Northeast.
Oh, now you're compensating. Thank you.
In just a minute, we're going to put the big political question to our panelists now that he's wrapped up the Republican nomination. Who will Donald Trump pick as his running mate? But first, let me tell you that support for NPR comes from NPR stations and the Economic Development Authority of Fairfax County, Virginia, committed to using the power of ideas to inspire women, minority, and veteran-owned companies. Details at powerofideas.org. Lumber Liquidators, a proud sponsor of NPR, offering more than 400 styles, including hardwood, bamboo, laminate, and vinyl, with flooring specialists in hundreds of stores nationwide. More at lumberliquidators.com or 1-800-HARDWOOD. And to the Maine Office of Tourism, offering travelers an opportunity to explore and discover their very own Maine thing, to be inspired, to be adventurous, and be yourself. The journey begins at visitmaine.com. Wait, Don't Tell Me is a production of NPR and WBEZ Chicago in association with Urgent Haircut Productions. Doug Berman, Benevolent Overlord. Philip Gotica writes our limericks. Our house manager is Mr. Don Hall. Assistant house manager is Tyler James Green. Our intern is Yo Quiero Taco Isabel Robertson. Our web guru is Beth Novi. Special thanks to the crew at Chase Bank. BJ Liederman composed our theme. Our program is produced by Miles Dornbos with help this week from Jennifer Mills. Technical direction is from Lorna White. Our CFO is Ann Nguyen. Our production coordinator is Robert Newhouse. Our senior producer is Mr. Ian Chillog. And the executive producer of Wait, Don't Tell Me is Mike Kernels of Corn Danforth. Now, panel, who will Donald Trump pick as his vice presidential running mate? Tom Bodette.
In a last-ditch effort to tank his candidacy so he can go back to his wonderful gilded lifestyle, he'll tap Washington and prison insider Dennis Hastert.
Helen Hong.
Trump will pick his hairdresser. You know, someone he trusts to give him good advice and steer him the right way.
And PJ O'Rourke.
Somebody to increase his appeal to women and minorities, Bill Cosby.
Well, if any of that happens, we'll ask you about it on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Thank you, Bill Curtis. Thanks also to PJ O'Rourke, Mr. Tom Bodette, Ms. Helen Hong. Thanks to all of you for listening. I am Peter Sagal. We'll see you next week. This is NPR.
WNYC support comes from the Met, presenting vibrant portraits of Marie Antoinette and other European aristocrats by Elizabeth Vigée-Lebrun, who built a successful career as an artist and a woman ahead of her time. Details at metmuseum.org.
This is WNYC New York. Yeah, I'm David First. It's just about 12 o'clock. Radio Lab is coming up next on 93.9 FM. Today, stories about blame. It is Ask Me Another next on AM 820. Director and actress Rose McGowan talks about how she is challenging the entertainment industry. That's next on AM 820. You can also listen online at WNYC.org. 54 degrees right now, cloudy skies. We're going to be getting up to a high today near 62. It is 12 o'clock.
This is WNYC, FM, HD, and AM, New York. Just keep listening.
Hey, you're listening.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. You're listening to Radio Lab.
Radio Lab.
From
WNYC.
See?
Maybe all of us can send a text. Yeah, I can pull that chair over.
So we're going to start with a story from our producer, Pat Walters, about a couple.
Oh, my word.
That's the lady.
I'm Janet.
This is the guy.
So I don't need you to introduce yourself. That's usually the thing we do, but we're not telling people who you are.
We're going to call him Kevin.
Kevin, yeah, that's my name.
It'll make sense why we're not using his real name in a second.
Okay, so this one starts July 2006. Jan and Kevin were at home, and some people you don't know show up, and maybe I'll start with you.
When they show up at the door, so we were getting ready to go down the shore. It was a Friday, so we're in the kitchen, and they come to the back door.
I thought that they were fundraising. I thought they might have been firemen just by the blue shirt, and then realized that they were law enforcement.
2 women and I think 2 men.
More came up from around the side of the house.
And they show us their badges.
Were they cops or?
They were Homeland Security.
They took me outside.
And they kept me, and they asked me to stay in the kitchen. And they had a woman with me. I didn't know what was going on. Nobody said anything to me.
What are they saying to you on the porch, meanwhile? When they showed up, when I got to the door, he said, "You know why we're here?" I said, "Yeah, I do. I was expecting you." And I showed him where everything was. This story about Kevin and his wife Janet inspired us to do the entire hour.
Because one of the most basic things that we do with people is we judge. We judge one another.
We judge what's right.
We judge what's wrong.
But this story and the 2 that follow,
they will make you judge how you judge. Or at least they had that effect on us.
And we're calling our show Blame.
Jack.
Complaints made against Moore by the Southern Poverty Law Center, the Alabama Judicial Inquiry Committee filed charges against the Chief Justice, who now faces a hearing and potentially removal from office. Last year, a federal court judge in Mobile ruled that same-sex marriage was legal in the state, and a later U.S. Supreme Court decision did the same for the nation. The complaints against Moore stem from his instructions to state probate judges to ignore those orders and to not issue licenses to same-sex couples. Earlier in 2003, when he was Chief Justice, Moore was removed from office by the same commission for his stance on the placement of a Ten Commandments memorial at the State Judicial Building. For NPR News, I'm Kyle Gassett in Montgomery.
Russia says a truce in Syria's northern city of Aleppo has been extended by 72 hours. Russian military officials say Moscow initiated the extension, and it's being broadened to include parts of Latakia province. It's now in effect through Monday. Kenya says it'll close 2 refugee camps that give shelter to more than 600,000, mostly Somali refugees. Officials say it's a matter of national security. International organizations say the closure would violate the Geneva Convention, and they'll seek a deal to avert the move. This is the final day of campaigning in the Philippines presidential race. Outgoing President Benigno Aquino failed to convince several candidates to unify